When you hit a point of discomfort, that is where growth happens. And so what you're seeing on the outside is definitely growth, but what's happening and transforming inside is also really transformational. And if you ask any woman who's gone through the grow out, she will tell you it's like, yeah, the hair, but there's so much more than hair, and they would never go back.
Welcome to the Rock Your Midlife podcast, your transformative sanctuary designed to guide you through self-discovery and provide the tools you need to find your purpose and navigate life authentically. Whether you want to optimize your health, boost your happiness, or deepen your self-love, this podcast is your ultimate toolkit. Welcome to Rock Your Midlife. I'm Dr. Ellen, the Midlife Whisperer, and I'm so delighted you're here because we're talking all about hair. You know, as women, hair is so complex. It's such a huge part of our identity. And I was shocked to actually read that 56% of women in America are in this silvering space where they're starting to go gray and making this decision. I want to say right off the bat, we're going to be talking all about going silver. But I'm all about doing what makes you feel beautiful, but it's a really huge decision to determine whether or not you're going to go gray. How do you do it? What is it like? And I was actually talking to my hairstylist yesterday. I got my hair cut for the first time in 9 months, and she's like, I am not ready yet. I want to do it, but I am just not ready yet. So if you're not ready yet, but you're silver curious, if you're silver and you want support wherever you are at in your journey, this show is for you because I'm going to be talking to Alexis. Alexis, I'm going to let you say your own last name.
Alexis Eizinas, like us Asians. Yeah, Alexis
Alexis
Eizinas.
Eizinas, and
Yeah.
she is the founder of Silvering Beauty and co-founder of the Silvering Sage, which is a brand new app that is launching on July 7th. And she's got 30 years across fashion, beauty, product design, brand development. She's been a model as well. She's built her work around the needs of women with silver, gray, and white hair. After going silver herself in 2008, she saw how poorly mainstream beauty served women, moving away from dye, and she founded Silvering Beauty to address that gap, creating an award-winning line for naturally silvering hair that crossed $1 million in revenue in its first full year. And it's an amazing product. I have used it. My 94-year-old mother loves the brow. And actually, we're going to be talking about the new app. And I feel a little bit like a midwife because I was there. I mean, I didn't help birth it, but Alexis and I roomed together 2 years ago during one of the Tangled Silver magazine Silver Sister retreats. And that's where she met Janine. And you came up with this incredible idea. I saw you guys like talking in the corner, but tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about this new Silvering Sage app and how it was born.
Okay. We'll talk about how it's born first. You know, when we went to that retreat, I was there to talk about like how to leverage the things that you know to create a business. And that's what I did with Silvering Beauty. I created a line of beauty products based on my knowledge of the beauty industry and knowing that there was a big hole in the market. So being there to present this idea of like how do you find your, you know, your next iteration if you wanted to start a business. Janine came up and she said, well, I don't know what to do. And I said, well, tell me your story, lady. And so she did. She told me her story of how she shaved her head in solidarity with her young niece who had cancer. And before she shaved her head, her hair was like jet black, like this color. And when she shaved her head, her real hair color came out, and she documented that online. And her real hair color, I mean, you've seen pictures of her, is like startlingly beautiful, like as most of our hair is silver, gray, and white, and interesting. And she documented her grow out and amassed a huge, you know, thousands and thousands of people like in her following. And she's like, I don't know what to do. And I said, Janine, you've got such a beautiful story. And I'm sure that, you know, that documentation, you could use that to help other women who are going through something similar. And I suggested an app because it's something that, you know, you do once. Unlike social media, you have to like constantly feed the churn. And she said, okay, that's a really interesting idea. And then we parted ways. And then on the airplane back to Toronto, I was thinking, I'm like, oh man, this could be a really good idea. Like we could do this and we can help a lot of different women with a lot of different grow outs and get them through, that transition between that decision when they're like, I am done with dye, and then through all of that grow out. And it's like, well, how do you help people? And then we were just at this meetup, and you could see right there like all of the women who were like there to help other women and trying so hard to like get their help out to other women, but again having to rely on like the craptastic algorithms of social media, and trying to be discoverable, but having so much like to help. And I was like, there's there's a solution. There's something in there that was brewing. And then I contacted Janine and I was like, Janine, I've I think this can be really big. Do you want to do this together? And she was like, yes, let's do it. And that's how it started.
Yeah, what an incredible story. And I know I'm actually one of the experts on the app, so I was super excited to contribute and be part of it. Because
Yeah,
I
I love
found
that.
out you found this too with all of the people who've contributed, but it's more than just about the hair. I mean, you're making it
Oh,
aspirational, which I love, right? Because I went, like I said, I got my hair cut yesterday. I'm looking at it after it had gotten all conditioned and got rid of all the gunk that was in it. And it's like, if you're looking on YouTube, there's like all of this shading and color. And freaking love my hair. When I colored my hair, and everyone's different, I never felt like me. And I never
yeah.
felt it was like about turning back the clock. But I feel like it's such a bigger issue than just the hair. I feel like when women do it, it's kind of like I'm going to look at myself in the mirror and say, yeah, I'm 40, I'm 50, I'm 60. I don't need to look like my 25-year-old self again. Like, what do you see as the bigger transformation than just the hair?
Yeah. Oh gosh, that transformation, it's something that the outside world sees as one thing, and it's so easy to judge. And it's also the little voices that we have in our head when we start seeing the roots come in, that judgment. We've been trained to like hide. We've been trained to like cover. We've been trained to be afraid of any grays showing up for lots of different reasons. And so when women make that decision, when they take that decision to stop dyeing their hair and push past all of those really hard feelings, like it's hard, like make no mistake, it's an uncomfortable um time. But through that discomfort, and everybody knows, especially grown up women, when you hit a point of discomfort, that is where growth happens. And so what you're seeing on the outside is definitely growth, but what's happening and transforming inside is also really transformational. And if you ask any woman who's gone through the grow out, she will tell you it's like, yeah, the hair, but there's so much more than hair, and they would never go back. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that your tagline, don't be afraid to grow, because
Yeah.
it really is about the growth. And I have to say, I have rarely met, I think I've met one woman who went back after she grew up, but
Yeah.
99% of women are like, I freaking love my hair. Like, why was I brainwashed? And again, if you love your color, please, we're not at all here saying
Yeah.
it's one or the other, but if you're curious, if you're tired of spending the money, the time, you putting that toxic stuff on your head, then
Yeah.
it's definitely worth checking out. But I've met very few people who say, I don't love my hair when it's actually all said and done.
I know. And you know what? Part of that, I think, is because the grow out is so hard. That once people do it, they're like, I'm never going to do that again. Because it was like, it's a lot. Like, it's a lot. And up until now, there's been no support. There's been nothing. That's not true. There's not been nothing. There have been like little pockets on the internet, little pieces of information here and there, little, individuals who are, trying to help in their way, but it's not time based. It's not personalized. It's not um, supportive in a way that meets the woman at the moment. Um, and this is just it's technology has arrived at the same time as this kind of blossoming of the number of women who are gray curious. And it's just like, okay, how so we can meet the moment, like we can meet the moment finally with technology that enables us to do all of these things and give the support at the right time in a woman's hand. It's a really, really great mobile app. Yeah.
So tell us how exactly it helps women go gray. And I love, let's address too this
Mm.
the emotional piece, because that is a
Yeah.
really big emotional piece when you look at yourself in the mirror and you see the roots coming
Yeah.
in and your confidence kind of drops and you start doubting yourself, like, should I do this? And you look at the
Yes.
guy when you go into the drugstore and I see it
Yeah.
all the time on social media, like, oh, do I do it? Do I not do it? But tell us a little bit about how the app actually supports women who want to go
Yeah.
silver.
So how we started, like right from the get-go, we needed a foundation of truth. And we looked through more than 250 women's growth processes and we created an emotional map. Like at every moment, there are great feelings of like, oh my God, this is so empowering. And you know what? I can do this. And a lot of the patriarchy, and a lot of just a lot of these really positive feelings mixed with at various times some low feelings, which are the doubt, the kind of side eyeing yourself in the mirror, and kind of like, who is that person? Like recognizing yourself and like re-recognizing yourself. So we created an emotional map that covered 24 months, and through that we're able to guide women through support mechanisms, through every stage of her grow out, to encourage her and to amplify those great feelings, through words, through mantras, through journaling prompts, um, through quotes. But it's just very targeted to lift her and encourage those positive feelings and focus on those while mitigating those hard ones. So giving her tools and words and advice and wisdom, to help mitigate those hard feelings. So that way, there's always a an understanding of where she is emotionally, and acknowledgement and support that's targeted for her timeline.
Yeah, I love that it's in real time because you're going to feel very
Yeah.
different the first month versus the year out
Oh,
and
yes.
2 years out.
Yes. And all of those feelings are real, and they're all like really fertile ground for growth. It's great. And then through the tracker, we have like, this is so fun. It's a weekly photo tracker. So she's prompted every week to take a selfie. It's not a public selfie, it's just for her, to track the growth. And at the end of her grow out, if she sticks with it, this is like part of the encouragement and part of encouragement to stick with it, is that at the end she gets a video of her
Oh,
transformation.
I love that.
Yeah, so it's a flip book and she gets to keep that. So it's like once she's finished with the app, it's like she has a takeaway. It's a keepsake of, so it's a video, and then any journaling that she's done is compiled and given to her at the end as well.
That's amazing. I'm
Yeah.
so excited for you guys. So who's it for? I mean, is it for the sort of silver curious, somebody in the middle of their journey? Who is your ideal woman for this app?
Any woman who has, like, if today is her last die, or if she stopped dying anywhere between now and 6 months ago. So we have a 6 month cutoff because those first 6 months are like the whoa. And then we take her through up to 2 years of grow out based on the hairstyle or hair length that she chooses in the app.
So, based on all of the information you've gathered, do you have like two or three tidbits to help someone through if they're listening and they're going like, all right, this is my sign. I tuned
Yeah.
in, I want to do this, and also certainly mentioning your products because I have used them and they're phenomenal for women who are growing up. But what would be like the two, three tidbits that you would give for someone who is just starting that journey?
Um, I think for hair health, I always say like start at the roots. Like you have to start taking care of your scalp because this is the skin that your hair is going to grow out of, and if you want beautiful hair to grow out of a scalp, you've got to take care of it. Just like the rest of your skin. Um but the rest of it is really, if you once you make that commitment, it's remembering why you did it, and like keep remembering why you did it in the first place, because it's going to be a long journey. And and know that this is a I think my one of my favorite connection pieces is that this is your relationship to your matriarchal line. You know, your hair pattern and like what's growing out of your head is like this is you. Like these are the patterns and these are the colors that your foremothers have had. And it's a really beautiful way to connect to yourself through your past. Yeah. And for the women who got to go gray, right? Like not everybody because you know, when we did that meetup, it was just kind of you know, closer to post COVID, and there's this realization that not everybody made it, you know, and it's like this there's a lot of living to do, and yeah, and we're lucky, and we're just lucky. We're lucky to be able to go through this transformation. That's I don't know how better to connect that, but it's growing up is a privilege.
Yeah, I
It's a
hear
privilege, and it's a and that's what we're doing. We're growing up. We're not growing old. We're growing up. We're constantly growing up, or you know, in some cases, out. but but we're growing up, and we keep growing up. You know, until we stop. And this is just one of these things. I think women, when they kind of hit the menopausal years, there's a lot of like, oh, what, you know, just blinders come off. It's like, why was I doing all of these things? You know, like there's this kind of adjustment to, and it's almost like a perspective shift that happens. And yeah, and it seems to be around the same time that a lot of women are like, I'm done with the dye. It's like, okay. Anyway, for anybody who's ready, anybody who's curious, anybody who wants to start, and anybody who's already started and is within that 6 month window, we're here for you
Yeah, I
with
love
the
that idea. But it really is a perspective shift because the female brain
yeah.
does change when estrogen drops.
Mhm.
You definitely do
Right.
a little bit more, a lot more of, hey, what's in it for me? Who am I? What am I doing here? And I love what you said too, that it is a privilege. When women are complaining about menopause, I'm like, hey, you're lucky. 100 years ago, women didn't make it past 55. And here we are
Right.
looking at living, into our personally, I'm trying to be healthy at 100. So
Ah, you're gonna do it, Ellen. You're gonna do it. You're
that's
so fit. I love that.
absolutely the goal. So I'm curious who came up with "Don't be afraid to grow" because that is just such an incredible tagline. Do you know where that came from?
No, I think it was Janine and I were spitballing. Like it was, I'm not even sure how it came up. I wish she was here where she could jump in. Which makes me think it was probably her idea. She's really great with words. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
It's beautiful.
But
So,
but it's got like so many different meanings, right? It's like don't be afraid to grow your hair. Don't be afraid to grow your person. It's it's really meaningful and it feels like it kind of captures the meaning of the Silvering Sage app.
yeah,
Yeah.
the silvering just feels like such a great catalyst for that midlife transformation. I call it dragonflying, where you're going from that nymph stage
Mhm.
and you're in the mud and you're a people pleaser. You've got a self-critic, you've got the perfectionist, and then you see the dragonfly up above, and dragonflies just climb up a stalk of grass and then they morph. So I
I
feel
love
like
that.
that's like and our hair is silver and it's translucent and gorgeous. So if a woman's listening and she's like, "All right, I'm gonna do this thing," how does she find the app?
She can find us. You just go to the App Store if she's got an iPhone, or to Google Play if she's got Android, and search for The Silvering Sage.
All right,
That's
search for
it.
the Silvering Sage. And if somebody
Yeah.
wants to check out Silvering Beauty and try your products,
Oh, of course, silveringbeauty.com. You can find us online. Yeah, please join our pack. It's we're there to help women love their hair. That's it. We don't think there's anything wrong with it. We're just there to amplify its beauty. Whoop whoop.
yeah, and they're beautiful products and they're toxic free and they're all environmentally friendly and they smell amazing and you will just look so beautiful. Because that's the whole thing is like beauty from the inside out. Just finding that personal glow up what works for you. So thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you all for
Oh,
listening. If you've enjoyed the show, please
thanks,
go
Ellen.
ahead and comment, like, subscribe, whatever platform you're in. It just helps more midlife women find Rock Your Midlife. And please check out Silvering Sage. It's an incredible app. I'm so delighted that I was part of the project and saw the inception. And Alexis, thank you so much for joining. It's always a pleasure to talk.
Thanks, Ellen. I love you and I love being here. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Thank you, everyone. We'll catch you next week.
Welcome to the Rock Your Midlife podcast, your transformative sanctuary designed to guide you through self-discovery and provide the tools you need to find your purpose and navigate life authentically. Whether you want to optimize your health, boost your happiness, or deepen your self-love, this podcast is your ultimate toolkit.